Mikola?
Yeah, we think he's going to be okay. Yeah.
Second time now in recent history where Boki's come into the lineup and had a big game for you guys coming off the bench. Just how impressed were you with his game tonight? Just how big was his game or goal to break the tie there?
Yeah, it was really important. The game was pretty tight through 2 periods. When I say I'm impressed with his game, there's an expectation of what he can do. It's good that he's come in with Barkov, I think, in both games because there's a certain style that he excels at. But as good as that is for him, it's also good for all the other players that aren't in the lineup right now. They see how important you are, how critically important you are. So you say to all those guys, stay ready. And the other thing we say, well, you've been ready. You did it all year. We went through just about all these guys, played really important roles for us. But it's good for them, for the guys watching the game, to see how important it is that you stay right.
Hey, Paul. Brad was talking before about the mindset going into an elimination game, and he said, in the back of his mind, he's going to think there still could very well be a Game 7 in this series. Is that the sort of mindset that you need going into a Game 4?
It can't be the first time your team's heard that. If you get up 3-0 and you, but we've learned. I hope we're going to find out if we've learned.
Right side.
Certainly. No, I'm not done. That was a good question. Unlike the one previous. Kidding. No, but you know what? Like we got up 3 Toronto 2 years ago and wanted it so bad that we tried to win the game on every play. And I think we kind of learned from that. And then you saw last year, you beat 8-1. It's the same idea. They have the desperation advantage. You have potentially the desire advantage, just the achievement idea that you get to move on. And both teams will fight that. That will be on display in the game. Can we control the desire emotion, play the game? Can they control the desperation emotion and play the game? So what the common denominator is, you just got to play the game. It's just hockey. There's nothing else to this game but hockey, but neither team's going to feel that coming to the rink.
Back right.
Paul, for so long, South Floridians have revered Heat culture with the Miami Heat. And not that it's a competition, but do you think it's time that Panthers culture gets a spotlight? And how would you describe Panthers culture?
I think there's room for all of us down here, certainly enough people. I think it's a great thing that you have sports that are foundational, football, basketball, baseball, and then the new sport, hockey, and there's room for everybody there. So how about we just share it? We share the spotlight, we'll share all of it if there's ways. And there's a story there somewhere. Bill Zito, very involved with management, when I say involved, connected to the management of other sports, and it hasn't been so much for the coaches, especially in basketball, because their seasons run concurrently. It's 82 games. There's not a lot of time for phone calls, but between the Dolphins and the Marlins, Bill's been kind of involved. Best practices. I know that our team services people get together, right, to scout out the best of things when we travel. There's room for everybody here. We're happy to be a part of it.
Marlins culture too. I mean.
Is Jessica here?
No, she's not.
She'd like to see you in the hallway, mister.
Probably.
I like her chances, just saying. It's just the shirt, George.
I know, another one. What was the feeling like on your bench there going into the third period? It's a tie game. Carolina's sticking around. You get some breathing room on Jesper, and then 3-1, 4-1, 5-1.
They're not sticking around, George. They're playing the game that we expected to play. The emotions of playoffs are different. So when you have the first 2 that we had, certainly the second, the way it went, it's so much closer than you think. And if it wasn't in one game, it doesn't matter. Because when they come back in and you play the first 2 periods the way those are played, that's a tight game. And that's what we would expect. So when we're going out into the third, we're not thinking it's going to change anything. You're looking for a break. And then once you get to 2 and 3, but once you get to 2-1, the game's has to open up for them. And they're dangerous with that game. They're good at it. And at 3-1, then the game has to open up. So what happens from 2 to 3 and then on doesn't matter, because it's not the way this game starts the next game. It goes back to the first period here. So we're not going out to the third period and saying, well, we can tell this is going to work out well. We're expecting this thing, I got an extra piece of gum in my pocket for the second overtime. That's what our experience with Carolina is. We went to 4 of them, right? So she'll be tight right from the start.
Take a few more for Coach, front right.
Paul, for 3 years, you've talked about how the room is a player-led room and how you're fine with that.
Needs to be.
When the confidence is as high as it seems to be in there right now, how do you pick your spots on what to say and how and when?
I go into the room and just try to be mindful that I tell the truth. So what we see on the ice or where they're at, be as concise as possible, be as predictable in terms of how long you're going to talk. You never want to say something brand new, right? The foundation, what you say on the first day of training camp has to be true in the last game of the year. That's the challenge. So at some point every year, the players take over the bench, they take over the room. Even when they know the matchup, if I didn't say a word, they'd all know going out who's going next. That's when it's good. You just try to monitor it. I've got about 4 or 5 things that I have to be right on or better consistent with. And the accountability of those things has to be true for what's true for Barkov has to be true for Sanaskevich. Other than that, I drink coffee and swear.
Take 2 more questions, left side, second row.
Paul, how pivotal was the kill on the 5-minute major, especially no Reinhardt, no Etu, to be able to kill it off with the game 1-0 at that point?
It's a real inflection point in the game because of those 2 guys out. They're critical. Both Reinhardt, part of the Barkov pair, and then A2 is not known around this league, but he should be. He's a heck of a player. And to have those guys out, but you got Boquist comes in and Rodriguez come in and Nosek takes more minutes, and that's kind of where you get to in the playoffs. Somebody else has to block the shot. Somebody else has got to do it. And then when you're on the bench and they do it, you get this bounce from it, right? We had some action on the kill at the start of the second one. It might have been our best chances of the game at some point. So those guys, those are really important minutes for them. And then also confidence in your depth. It's going to happen again. One of your killers takes a penalty for 2 minutes. It doesn't phase your bench.
Last question, back right.
Hey, Paul, you have a group of guys that go into this game confident. They leave it just as confident. But is there any level of surprise at any point when you see them go off the way they did and you see that final score?
No. What we're really good at here, and you had Sasha Barkov up here. He's so good at tone setting, but it's easy for him because that's exactly who he is. That's his personality. So when we talk about handling our day, we've lived it for 3 years, so there's nothing new. I don't think the final score, the game got away from Carolina in game 2, partway through it. We were really good early, and it got away from it. Tonight, that's the series the way we expect it to go, the first 2 periods. That's the series. So they aren't all fired up in that room. They're not just going to go home, get something to eat. We won't bring them out of bed too early. We'll do this whole bunch of stuff that I don't even know what they do at the other end of the building. To be honest with you, I don't go down there. They'll recover. That's what I call it. And then enjoy that day. Enjoy that day with each other. They're not going to be on a high. They're not going to be moving on. It's Saturday, right? Today? It's going to be a good Sunday. That's it. We'll have a good Sunday.
Yeah, we got some bounces. I think we played more the style of game that we did in the first couple. We didn't have a great start to the game. We weren't bad in the first, but we weren't great in the second. And we got back to the way we needed to play to have success. And some guys made some big plays at the right time. And led by Barkey, he was incredible out there tonight. And that's what you need. You need your leaders to step up and lead the way, and he did that tonight.
Carolina was sticking around. You get that goal minute 30 in. How big was that to make it 2-1?
Huge. Bogey, he's been so good every time he's been in the lineup, and huge play by him. It just allows you to settle in and get comfortable. And once they tied it up, it's one of those things that anything could happen. You get a lucky bounce and they get the lead. But yeah, we just did a great job after that of locking it down and get back to our game. But it gave us the confidence to continue to build. So huge play by Bokey there.
Are you surprised just the way that this series has gone? It was supposed to be this low-scoring, tight checking game.
Yeah, I don't think that the way the games have been played is really an indication of what the outcome's been score-wise. They've been pretty tight. It just seems like we've gotten a couple bounces and a couple lucky breaks here and there that have kind of given us a pretty good lead. We've capitalized on special teams, obviously, which is huge this time of year. So, don't expect that, but it doesn't matter. Like it's not going to change anything about next game. We got to come in and prepare the same way, and it's always the toughest one to get. So we got to make sure we bring our best.
Brad, what is the challenge of that when the next one is for a shot at the final?
It doesn't. You don't think about that. We're prepared to go 7 here, and I think the biggest thing for this group is we're really good at just focusing on what we need to do and staying in the moment and not looking ahead. You can't start looking ahead. I mean, it's such a dangerous game to play. But what we're really good at is just coming in, preparing the right way. And you have a lot of guys who've been through these moments before and kind of know how to deal with them. So you just rely on that and come in and try to do our job. It doesn't mean that everything's going to go our way, but, you prepare to control the things that you can.
This is exactly what you envisioned, though, right, Brad? I mean, when you came here, that you'd be at this juncture?
You hope. You hope, right? You never know how things are going to go. There's so many things that you can't control in playoffs that can dictate the outcome of a series, and we've been fortunate with some bounces and some calls and stuff like that have helped us get to the point we're at. But we haven't achieved anything yet.
Yeah.
Until you win everything, you accomplish nothing. So, it's day to day, and we just keep moving forward, trying to deal with the things that come at us.
Brad, you know the value of constantly pressing with the forecheck. What's the feeling on the bench when you see the defenseman bail out of a hit and all of a sudden there's a chance in front? Does it start to make you feel as though, okay, this is working?
Yeah, it's a tough. We have a really good forecheck. I mean, we come hard and this team has played that way for a while now, so they know how to read off each other and they kind of know where to go to get pucks back and to support each other. But yeah, I mean that's what you're looking for, is to find ways to get pucks back, and whether it's you get a turnover because you get a stick on it, or you hit a guy, or he gets out of the way. It all leads to the same result. You getting it back and hopefully creating a play. So I mean it's a tough thing this time of year when forechecks come hard.
The game still has elements of intimidation. That's one of them. Can you feel that on the bench when it's starting to work?
It's tough. It changes every game, and honestly, it changes every play. Sometimes just the amount of speed that a guy's coming in at, there's a level of self-preservation in the game too, right? So, I mean, you're not so much feeding off a guy not doing his job on the other team. It's more us doing our job on our team. You have a lot of respect, and you build guys up when they go in and they are playing physical and they're playing the right way and playing within our structure and system. So it's more about what we do. That's I think the biggest thing that I've seen since being here. It's about what we do in here and how we build off of that.
How much fun are you having?
Having a lot of fun. Yeah, I mean it's such a great group to be part of, and I've been part of really good teams before. And you don't really, there's been moments that I haven't truly appreciated until I've gone through it, and I look back on it now. So just trying to enjoy every moment. These things go by fast. I mean, there's only 3 or 4 weeks left in the season, and you're trying to enjoy every single second of it because you never know when it's going to end, and you never know when you get an opportunity like this again. So yeah, definitely enjoying it.
For Roddy, obviously a big game for Boki. Second time he's come in for you guys and had a big game like that. Just what to say about the culture of this team, where a guy can come off the bench, be trusted on the top line, and just execute like that.
Yeah, he's kudos to him, right? He's a smart player, and he can play with good players, and not playing in a week. He did a great job of staying ready, staying in shape, and steps right in and makes an immediate impact, like you said. So really, really good game from him, and I'm playing with him.
Right side, front row.
Sasha, can you just try to explain the level of confidence in the room right now with so many guys contributing, so many guys doing their job in front of Bob, and then Bob, of course, doing what Bob does? Just what is the room? What is the feeling in the room right now?
It's definitely great. Like we go into the game, we know exactly what we need to do, and obviously we're playing against a really good team, and they're gonna have their moments as well. But we need to stay focused, and I think, well, second period they had really good push, and Bob helped us a lot defensively. We killed some penalties, and in the third period, I think we took over. Yeah, Jesper scored a big goal for us, and I think we took over there. But yeah, the confidence level is high, and everyone's having fun right now.
Left side, second row.
Sasha, you mentioned you guys taking over in the third period. What was it about those first 10 minutes that allowed you guys to take over the third period?
Just stick with it. Stick with the game plan. We knew we needed to be a little better than we were in the second period, so we tried to keep things simple, and I think got rewarded by that. Obviously, like I said, like huge goal by Jesper there, kind of like individual effort there. But after that, I think we kept things simple and got the pucks deep and created from there.
Right side, second row.
Evan, just what do you think it says about this team that, it seems like whenever someone goes down with an injury or someone has to step up to fill a void, it seems like that person always seems to step up. Just what do you think that says about the team and maybe the mindset and just the ability of kind of like the whole roster?
Yeah, I think it's a tight-knit group, right? So when guys come in, when they step into the lineup, they feel confident, right? They're not worried about making a mistake or letting anybody down. They come in and the guys pick them up and pump them up, and they go out there and they just play their game, right? And so when you have a team that does that and pulls for one another and wants success for one another, it just makes every guy's job easier. Just it's constant reminders and constant reinforcement, and everyone that's stepped into a game from coming out of the lineup has done a great job.
Right side, second row.
Sasha, you guys are in the same position again, one win from being in the Cup final. What's the approach? How do you not look at the big picture at this point, or?
Yeah, just one day at a time. Like right now, we just need to focus on recovery and getting as much rest as possible, and then tomorrow, next day, we concentrate on the game. So that's about it. Like we live day at a time.
Sasha, special teams have played such an important role in this series, both power play and shorthanded. You guys seem to have an advantage over Carolina. How have you been able to do that and to keep it going as the series has gone on?
Yeah, like you said, I think we've done a really good job with that. Like we go out there, we execute, power play executes. We know our job. That's the same thing with the penalty kill. Like we go out there, we work really hard. We know exactly what to do, so that helps too. And like I've said million times, Bobby has been really good for us as well.
Left side, second row.
Evan, this is for you. How big of a mental reset was it going into the locker room and still killing off the 5-minute major, getting 2 shorthanded shots, and especially your number being called for the kill?
Yeah, it was a big kill for us, right? I thought we did a great job, the first half of it, and coming out of that intermission, it was, just continuing to do the same thing. I thought we got, a little bit of momentum off of that. They had a really good push in the second. Like Barkey said, Bobby weathered the storm. We stayed tight. We, tried to defend hard, and then going into the third, it's hitting that reset button again. I thought we got away from our game a little bit, doing the little things that we usually do, and everyone in that room knew, we had better and could play better, and I thought we just came out in the third and executed it.
We'll take one more question, left side, second row.
Evan, I think it's 6 or 7 assists for you since you came back, starting in Game 7 against Toronto. How have you felt about your game? And as one of the few guys who hasn't found the back of the net yet this postseason, have you been getting chirps from your teammates about that?
No, just saving them. No, it's never fun, not, having to sit out and not play. So it was a little bit of a reset for me, and you get back for Game 7 and you're itching to get back, and you want it so bad. And I thought I played well in Game 7, and it just kind of been rolling since then. It helps playing with this guy, and it's always nice contributing to wins, right?
Thank you for your time, guys.
Thanks, guys. Have a good night.
Twice now you've come off the bench and had a big game. Just how good did it feel tonight to make an impact like that? It's a big game.
Yeah, obviously great, huge win for us, and glad I could help a little bit.
On that, your goal, more than helping a little bit, just take us through that play. Obviously, pretty spectacular stuff.
Yeah, I mean, good gap by RD, good touch by Roddy to me in speed, and then I kind of just tried to take him a little bit wide, and it worked this time for sure.
What changed in the third period to sort of charge that dominance?
I mean, I feel like we just stuck with it, and that's what we do, and we're working hard, and if we do that, we'll get our bounces, and that's what's happened, and we're just trying to stick to our game and work hard.
Jesper, what does that say just about when you're not playing, just kind of the preparation to be able to come in and do what you did today?
Yeah, I mean, that's what we have to do, right? Be ready when our name are called, and I feel like everyone around the team making such a good job for us that's not playing, and we all are like involved, and then it's not easy, but it's easy when your name gets called.
Still some work to do, but you're one win away from going to the Stanley Cup final. Just what can you think or say about that?
Yeah, like you said, a lot of work still to do, and I mean, enjoy this one, but to turn the page tomorrow and look forward to the next, and learn from this one, and yeah, a lot of work still, but it's going to be a fun one for sure.
Just before you guys opened it up, just how big was Bob those first 2 periods? A couple spectacular saves.
Yeah, I mean, I call him the wall in Swedish all the time for a reason, right? So he's unbelievable, and he given us a chance every night.
What is the wall in Swedish?
Väggen.
When the momentum shifts like that, do you feel like you're just such a dangerous team? Like just like the floodgates just burst wide open.
I mean, I don't know. It's a hard question, but we're trying to stick to what we say all the time, and like I said 1,000 times before, we're trying to work hard and do what we do best.